Right, hello then everybody, welcome back to the Golden Sky. Today it is Saturday the 20th of September 2025. I'm Tom. Liverpool have just beaten Everton 2-1 for our 5th win out of 5 in the Premier League. These are the player ratings. But first of all, before we get into any of the players today, if you are new around here and just watching for the first time on the channel, please do drop a like on the video, comment away, and subscribe to the channel like I said. And even if you're not new, do all those things as well. If you're watching, we're trying to get to 200 subscribers. So let's first get to 150 and get to 200 eventually. Thank you very much for joining me. And as well, if you're joining me on the podcast, thank you very much as well. Much appreciate it. As always, 5-star ratings and reviews. So, well, what do we have to talk about today? It's a different feeling today, isn't it, in the ratings? The game's just finished, as always, when I record these. The game has just finished. And it's the first time I've ever recorded a match ratings live where we haven't won in the last minute. The buzz is not immediate after that. But there is still a buzz because we have won the Merseyside Derby once again. We have won 5 games out of 5 in the Premier League. We are currently 9 points clear of Man City, and we are currently 6 points clear of Arsenal, with them to play each other tomorrow. So we can chill out. Put your sunnies on. In fact, don't put your sunnies on. It's raining like mad. Put your feet up. Sit in front of the TV. Watch the games. Enjoy them. You know, have a little snack. I know that there's a snack you want tonight. Go and get the snack. Enjoy the games. And relax, I guess. Because it wasn't a very relaxing game, was it? So we'll get into the ratings today. Let's talk a little bit about David Moyes, first of all. Moysey there on the side. Kicking right off at the end, wasn't he? What's it? Seeing him there, throwing his toys out the pram big time. I mean, I don't know what he's kicking off about, really. I think he wants more added time. Listen, if we'd have had more added time, Everton might have equalised, sure. But then Liverpool would have just gone up the other end and scored, Moysey. So, you know, just settle down with his wig there. Honestly, looks more and more like he's wearing a wig nowadays. Convinced in the morning he just wakes up pure bald bollockhead and just gets like his hairnet, but it's like actually a wig, and just knocks it on his head and pops out looking like the grandmas who go to bingo. Looks like one of them. Except he's got his Everton trackie on and he's coming to manage Everton at Liverpool. And like, Everton were pretty good. They caused us problems. Liverpool were not so good, apart from about half an hour. But we won the game, and that's all that matters. You could feel it, couldn't you? The blue nose is there. You know, watching that, they scored that first goal. Love. Get the Everton trackie out, right? He's got his full blue trackie on, his blue shoes, little shiny ones. He's got, you know, his face paint on, 2-2. James Tarkowski, 90+8 on his forehead. He's ready to go out in the streets with his blue flare. Streets invasion for a 2-2 draw at Anfield. It was ready to happen. They've all had to sit there, disappointed as per. You know, nothing to celebrate there for the Ev, despite the fact that they were probably the better team in the second half. Are we playing well yet? I ask that to the media. I ask that to you guys. Are we playing well yet? You'd probably say no. We've won every game. So maybe this is just us playing well. Maybe this is us. I don't know. Maybe it is. We can improve, I'm sure. But we're still winning. We didn't win in the last minute. 10 out of 10. That's good. So lots of positives to take from a week that, to be honest, was quite frustrating, really. But the game's done. It's early in the weekend still. We normally last on, so good to get that one done. And let's talk about some of the players. Alisson in the goal is who we'll start with, as always. Had the Halloween kit on, and I tell you, it was a good job he wore it, because some of the stuff he was doing today was quite scary. Now, the Scream Green, some of his kicking was making me scream, I'll be honest. How many times did he kick the ball straight to an Everton player today? Honestly, his kicking is strange sometimes. If he's kicking the ball out his hands, he's boss at kicking it. He's like a Predator missile. If any of you played Modern Warfare 2, right? He's got a 5 kill streak, Predator missile, gets his little laptop out, here he goes. Predator missiles it over to Salah, it lands right at his feet, it's perfect, okay? If he has to kick it while it's on the floor, well, it could go anywhere. It's like haphazard. The ball's just flying all over the gaff, and unusually to an Everton player. So that wasn't very good, really. Like, he makes a few saves. They were routine, I think, and he does okay on a few crosses. Loves to punch it, doesn't he? Honestly. Rocky Balboa there in the net. Loves to punch it rather than catch it. Flipping heck. Sometimes I wish he'd catch it, but good punches nonetheless. Nothing you can do about the goal. How many times have we said that this season? It feels like every goal that's scored against us, it is like, well, it's a good thing. It's not Alisson's fault. But maybe I'd like to see him, pull off a worldly save every now and then. I don't know. Am I being harsh? I don't know. I think today his kicking was a bit of a problem, and I kind of want to give him a 5. I kind of do, because he didn't do anything to help us really. Like, the saves were routine, and his kicking was landed us in trouble. So I'm going to give him a 5. Listen, it's not a problem. Like, it's not a performance that needs like big worry. Oh my God, should we play Marmadash? Really, head's fallen off. It's just you can't kick the ball properly at the minute. So listen, take him to church, right? Let him have a little chat with God. He loves Jesus and all that. Let him have a little chat with them, okay? Let him do a little prayer, Dear God, please can I kick the ball better? Amen. And then by next time we play, the ball will be flying in the net from 90 yards out. That's the power of Ali's faith right there. So remember when he baptised Firmino? That was mad, wasn't it? Maybe he needs to baptise someone in our team now. Who should he baptise in our team? McAllister. Flipping go baptise McAllister at the minute, because good grief, we'll get to him later. But before that, we'll go to Connor Bradley at right back, who I thought played really well, actually. And for me, was probably... I mean, Gravenberch gets the goal and assist, so they gave him man of the match. Fair enough, I see it, but for me, I think Bradley might have been our best performer, which is ironic because everyone was saying how Grealish was really good, and I agree, Grealish was really good in this game, he was a danger, but I think Bradley did really well competing against him. Really, really tight first half an hour, super aggressive, not letting him have any space, winning tackles, winning the ball. It was a good defensive performance. I think his work in the second half was really good. We struggled for a little while, but I think last 20 minutes we were probably back in control of the game a bit more than we were before that anyway. And Bradley helped us just being nice and aggressive again, winning the ball. And there's another lad later who we'll get to who also did that. But I just think he played well. I probably give him an 8, guys. And apologies, I still don't have my graphic made. It is in the works. It will be there. So soon you'll be able to see, like, maybe here I'll have sort of a list or something along those lines. But you just have to bear with me for now. I think I'm going to give him an 8. Like, nothing to show for it, and Grealish was a problem, but Bradley dictated well against him too. I think caused Everton problems. I think 8's fair. I think 8 is fair. Right, Konate at centre back. Tricky one really. Winning loads and loads of headers. Right, Everton's game plan was pretty clear. Like I said the other day, most teams in the Premier League nowadays, they seem to imitate 2 teams, okay? They either want to be 2008 Stoke or 2008 Barcelona. You ever heard that saying, every human's more of a frog or a rat? Which one are you? Like, I'm probably rat, let's be real. I'm probably rat. Think about yourself right now. Be honest, you're either a frog or a rat. Yeah? You know what I'm talking about. Every team in the Prem is a Stoke or a Barca, 2008. And Everton are firm Stoke, okay? They like to sometimes try and do a little bit of Barca, but not so much in this game. It was firm Stoke, long throw, corner, long ball. And every single one of them was going to Konate because they're not stupid. Don't kick it to Van Dijk. He's like Mount Everest over there. Kick it to Konate, who's also, if Van Dijk's Mount Everest, he's Kilimanjaro. I don't even know if that's the second biggest mountain in the world, but it's probably the second most well known, right? Kilimanjaro Konate. It's quite a good nickname. Heading the ball loads and loads and loads, winning loads of headers. But the problem we had was our midfield was just like on the sunbeds, chilling out, no worries, no one anywhere near the ball. So that was causing us problems. And then I felt like they got stitched up a little bit for 20 minutes, the centre-backs, where we'd had the ball and our midfield was nowhere to be seen. And they couldn't get the ball forward. It was really slow, really slow. We struggled a lot. And he just ended up with him kicking out of play. On a few occasions, Konate, which was a problem. I don't necessarily blame him all for it, though. I think the midfield's got to be looked at more. I think he played all right. I honestly think he played all right. I think I'd give him a 7. I think he was okay. I mean, the amount of headers he won, I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but he won a bunch of headers, it felt like. So I'm giving him a 7. And we'll go to his partner at centre-back, Van Dijk. Very, very similar. Very similar. I mean, tell you what, though, wasn't your heart in your mouth right at the end when the ball goes back to him and he knocks it back to Ali, nearly kicked it in the net? Bloody hell, maybe he needs baptising as well. Flipping heck. Kick the ball. I had flashbacks of Fulham and Ryan Babel. Anyone remember that goal? When Van Dijk and Ali fucked it up between them and Babel scored against us. My God. But it didn't lead to anything in the end. It was okay. And I think Van Dijk played well again. Look, he's in the way of everything. Everton certainly targeted away from his side, which is smart. They want to get the ball to Grealish. It was pretty clear. And Van Dijk's obviously on the other side of the pitch, but I thought he won his headers, he won his duels. He's really, really good at stepping in and winning the ball off a centre forward or a winger if they match up against him. But nothing flashy, really. Did love the bit, however, when he's fighting with Tarkowski in the middle. The ref comes over, Knobhead 1-2-3 comes over. He's like trying to talk to them, and neither of them are listening. They're just hitting each other, basically just playing a game of fight, just smashing each other. Hit you, and then the ref's like, guys, don't do that. That's not allowed. And Van Dijk and Tarkowski are like, fuck off, ref, just leave us alone. And they keep fighting, and then we win the ball. The Tarkowski has to run back, and Van Dijk's like yelling at him and celebrating. That was pretty good. Enjoyed that. Bonus point. It's always good if you can tell that absolute farmer, basically that he's a farmer. And Van Dijk did exactly that. So that's a bonus point and probably gets him a 7, I think. So 7s for both the centre backs, and we'll look at the left back, Milos Kerkez, who I thought had his best game for us today by some distance. His headers at the end, wow. I mean, there was one that went to the back post, first one he does, and he flicks it out. I think it went out for a throw. Brilliant header. Could have kissed him, I tell you. I could have just grabbed hold of his little face and just give him a big kiss. And then the second one comes over, even more dangerous, deep across, and he reaches up, gets his neck muscles and like Mr. Fantastics them into the air. Honestly, like it was as though he got his head, like just Lego headed it, popped his head off, held it up, headed it away. Beautiful header. Concedes the corner, but it was a really, really crucial header. And at that point, I felt like, not only was it a kiss, but it was a little spoon as well. We were just going to go and cuddle for a little while over there at left back in Anfield. Brilliant once again from Kerkez, another defensive header, and I think he defended really well. Iliman Ndiaye is a really tricky player. I think first half Kerkez did really good job on him, not just defensively, but also making forward runs, popping up in really good positions. Got Iliman booked for one point when he took the ball past him. I think he showed a lot of us today, a lot of his qualities defensively and offensively. So that was really good to see. He's so aggressive though. Like, if you're a right winger and the ball goes to your feet, just expect in 0.1 of a second to be absolutely smashed by Kerkez, because that's what happens. That said, I think he was really good today. So I think I'm giving him an 8 like Bradley. I think Bradley slightly had the edge on him because Bradley was dealing with Grealish, who was Everton's focus. I mean, I don't know how Everton played football without Grealish. The game plan is just kick the ball to Grealish and see what he does. And he played really good again. So, yeah, 8 for Kerkez. That's what I'd give him. Ryan Gravenberch then, the star of the show, really, wasn't he? I mean, he gets compared a lot to, not a lot really, but people like to say it's Ruud Gullit. There's obviously the Photoshop of him on Gullit's face. The Dutch midfielders, they're both tall. Like, that is an easy comparison to make. But Ryan Gravenberch today decided, fuck that, I'm going full Van Basten, right? And the ball drops into that right channel and he just volleys it sort of into the far corner. It wasn't quite like Van Basten's, which was a full on the volley. Cross comes over his head, volley it back across. One of the best goals ever. This one was a bit different, but that's what he channeled, I feel like. Ryan van Gravenberch. And brilliant pass from Salah. He makes a great forward run. And that's what I was talking about a little bit in the Atletico game. Our midfielders all have license to go forward. It's not just the fact that he's a number 6. He's not a traditional number 6 in our team. We don't play with one. He can go forward as well. He does so. Brilliant finish over little arms in the net. Just flicks it over. Little T-Rex there, just like, oh, I can't reach it. That was Pickford in the goal. Goes over his head, pops into the bottom corner, and it looked like we were on our way again, didn't it? And then the second one, brilliant little interplay in the middle. It comes to Gravenberch. Really nicely weighted pass into Ekitike, and he gets the assist as well. And you're thinking, sweet, here we go. Right, we're playing brilliantly, 2-0 up, happy days. Well, that was only phase 1 of the game, wasn't it? Because it seems like we have phases. Phase 1, 2-0 up. Phase 2, 2-2. And then phase 3, last minute winner. Luckily, we managed to put a pause on that this week and just stay at phase 1.5, really. But great performance from Gravenberch, although I do think, I'm going to give him some criticism, in the second half, our midfield was not winning enough second balls, just plain and simple, it wasn't. Everton were much more aggressive. Dewsbury Hall, Gay, Garner winning everything in the middle. Gravenberch just not good enough. Same with McAllister, who we'll get to next, but not enough showing for the ball as well. I wanted to see them be braver. It seems to me that when we go 2-0 up, we tried to be more of a counter-attacking side, tried to like draw Everton out a bit and counter-attack, but we almost forgot that we have to attack ourselves as well when we have the ball. We were sort of guilty of being a little bit too slow and passive, I think. So all of that said, I'm giving him an 8 because he gets the goal and assist, and he did play well, especially the first half an hour. But I do think it wasn't as clear-cut in man of the match. I think I personally give it to Bradley, if I'm being totally honest with you, and give him an 8. But they weren't any better than 8s, neither of Bradley, Kerkez or Gravenberch. McAllister, oh, goodness me. Goodness me. I mean, I don't know what is going on at the minute. Today, poor. Just poor. Second half especially. Someone needs to go and make him, how do you say, is it Mata? Or whatever. The little coconut looking drink they have that's not coconut, it's like a tea. Someone needs to go and make him one of them, right? And put in it like about 25 shots of Red Bull, because this fella needs to wake up, I tell you that much. Like, he just looks off the pace, is the way I describe it at the minute. It just looks a bit off the pace. Like, caught on the ball a lot. Just not really, like, dictating the play like we're used to him doing for us. Like, really on the ball a lot. Lots of forward passes, lots of tackles. Like, he's just not doing any of that. And second half, he was a passenger in the game. He really was. I love McAllister, and he's been so crucial to us for so long. We've basically not played well without him in the team for years. That's a fact, by the way. You can look it up. But he just looks off it at the minute. I think he's not quite got up to fitness at the start of the season, and then he's not been able to sort of get in the team consistently, and I just think he's struggling a little bit maybe. So I think it'll come. Obviously, he's a top-class player. He's going to come good, but he's just not playing well at the minute, so you've got to give him criticism when it comes. You know, he's playing against Idrissa Gueye, who had fucking tights on in there. Do you know what I mean? He had tights on. Well, nothing against wearing tights if you're cold, but it's not that cold, Idrissa, and he wears them every game. Like, you can't be losing midfield battles to Idrissa Gueye in 2025. He's a pensioner. He is. He's getting his state pension, I'm telling you. He scores a great goal. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was dreaming. I'd done a dab of acid before the game or something. Idrissa Gueye's knocking balls in the net, and McAllister can't pass the ball 5 yards. What's going on? Well, I tell you what's going on. I'm giving him a 3, I think, because he was just poor. He just was poor, guys. Like, there's nothing else to say, really. And I think we missed the man who I'm about to talk about now. And that's Dominic Szoboszlai. And whilst he was on the pitch, I think we missed him deeper. I really do. Now, he starts in the number 10 role. And I think there's no coincidence to me that was probably... He was still good, don't get me wrong. But I think that was his worst game of the season so far. It's a really high bar to reach, you know. But he just wasn't as involved as much in the game. Wasn't really able to stamp his marker on the game as much, and he did try. His running is fantastic, as always, closing down the keeper with such intensity, centre-backs, pressing, winning the ball, loads and loads of tackles. He does just eat players nowadays. He's like that little fella, what's he called? The pink fella. Kirby. He's like Kirby. Ever seen Kirby? He's like a little cartoon fella. And he's just a little pink blob, basically. And he just knocks about like this. Yeah. And then he just inhales someone. My mic's right here. You can't see it. But he just like, if I was Kirby right now, I just can inhale it, right? And then they just like go into Kirby's body and he just cracks on about his day. Blobbing along like this, little pink blob with feet. I think he's got feet. That's Szoboszlai on the pitch, except he's not a pink blob. He's like a Hungarian supermodel who can run dead fast and doesn't blob around. But he still eats people, is the point I'm trying to make here. Soba Kirby. Not quite. It doesn't really work, but you get the point. But I think we missed him in the 8th. Because he just couldn't get on the ball as much, and like he couldn't compete with the midfielders for Everton because he was too high. And I think we lost the midfield battle, especially from the half an hour point onwards, and we could have done with him in the 8, I think, honestly. So I won't talk about Kirby anymore because things got a bit weird. I'll give him a 7, and we'll just move straight on to Mo Salah. Brilliant pass for the first goal. That's going to go overlooked because of Gravenberch's amazing finish. But the pass from Salah is fantastic. He's gone a bit more short on the top with his hair, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he's playing better. He did the same against Atletico. When he has that shaved head, or I don't even know how to describe it, like his hair's short, he plays well. Last season, case in point, right? He needs to either be full throw, like full mad hair transplant needing throw, or really short. If he's in between, it's bad news bears for Mo Salah, let me tell you. But today, short hair, brilliant pass. He gets a brilliant assist. That's another assist for him, another number on the board. It's what he does. And he should have been involved in more in this game, because how many chances did we have second half on the counter-attack? And they just go unnoticed because we just waste them so like effortlessly, where we've got like 2-on-3 or 3-on-3 or something like that, 4-on-3, and we're bearing down on the goal, and we'll overhit the pass, or we'll play the wrong pass and everything slows down, and we don't be ruthless and finish it off. That was when Klopp was here. That was an absolute trademark of our play. You know, Mane, Firmino, Salah, they never got that wrong. It was just goal, goal, goal. Not so, when we're so inconsistent at it nowadays. He could have been involved in more. Like, he has the brilliant pass where it comes over to him. He takes the touch inside, and he has to just shuffle back a bit, and he can't generate the power on the shot. He had the shot in the first half where he takes it down. He's just on the edge of the box, and he curls it. Trademark Salah, far post. It almost went in. Really good effort. So he was dangerous. He was a constant danger in the game. He's against little Mikalenko there on the left back spot, which I thought in the preview, like I said, was going to be a key battle. And I think it was really that right hand side of the pitch for us. That was where our goals came from, and that's where we ended up winning the game from, really. So all that to say, it's hard to judge because he just. I think I'm going 7. I think I'm going 7 because he played fine. He gets the assist, brilliant, and then he's involved enough, I think, to warrant the 7. And he should have had more, but it wasn't his own fault that he didn't. He was in the right positions. He was actually keeping the ball pretty well at a time when none of our players could keep it or didn't want to keep it. I think he did a good job. And I love the shithousery at the end when he's in the corners. You know, he's holding the ball, and it's Salah that we choose to do it, who's 5'2". Like, some of the passes we play to him where we kick it long, and I always say in my house, it's like he turns into Heskey, right? And he just pins his centre-back, who's like 10 foot taller than him, and then they always throw him on the floor, and the ref always just lets play on. Oh, I should talk about this. I missed it when I talked about McAllister, but I wanted to mention, there must be a rule in the PGMOL rulebook where it's like section 14A Mark 2 row Z. Kicking Alexis McAllister is absolutely sound on the football pitch because that poor lad gets belted around. I know he was shite today, but he gets belted around. The refs just do nothing. They don't. And then under that, section B, Mo Salah also fine because he just gets ragdolled around and they don't give free kicks. 7 for Salah, and we'll go to Hugo Ekitike, who turned into the match winner today. Right, I want to get this out of the way and off my chest because it's going to go on all season, I feel like, and it's doing my head in already. Now, I would like to think that a lot of people who watch these videos are normal, switched on, got their head screwed on fans, okay, and Liverpool fans probably as well, right? So you probably don't need to hear this, but if you hear anybody talking about this, I need you to shut them down, okay? If anybody says something along the lines of, "Where is Ekitike going to play now Isak's here? Is Ekitike going to be sad that Isak's joined? Is he going to be annoyed? Is Isak going to play when Ekitike's there? Maybe someone will have to play on the left wing. Who's going to play where? How are they going to fit them all in?" Right? That is all bollocks. It is all complete and utter bollocks. If you hear anybody say that, I want you to grab a hold of their tongue, and just rip it out of the mouth. Just tongueless humans all over the gaff, and you'll know. When you see someone who's got no tongue, you'll know they've been met by a Liverpool fan who listen to them say, "Oh, maybe Ekitike will be sad that Isak's joined and now he can't play." What are you waffling on about, lad? What are you waffling on about? He played there, didn't he? He started the Merseyside Derby. Isak's here, as far as I'm aware. He's sat on the bench, right? Ekitike scores the winner. Isak comes on, second half. Listen, we've got Southampton in like 3 days in the Cup. Guess what? One of them's going to start that game. I don't know who it is yet. One of them's going to start, okay? And then guess what? We play Chelsea, I think. We play Crystal Palace the week after. The other one will probably start that game, okay? There's going to be 50, 60 games for Liverpool in this season. They're going to play loads of games. If you hear BT Sports, TNT Sports, whatever the frigging called nowadays, Discovery Plus, whatever, Sky Sports, whoever the hell does coverage of football, if you hear anyone on YouTube saying it, just turn it off, right? Just turn it off and move on. It's nonsense. They're both going to play loads. Neither of them are going to be sad the other one's there. It's football, right? This is laughable that we have to talk about this. Ekitike played boss. He played so good for half an hour. He's so sleek on the ball. He's so skillful, really tricky, good dribbler. Linking up play, scored his goal brilliantly, took it really well. Great first touch to set himself for the quick shot because the challenge was coming in. Nutmegs the keeper. Really, really good goal. Well taken. Deserved it. Okay. The problem I have with Ekitike is I don't think he's fit enough yet to last 90 minutes at the top level. And a telltale sign of that is when he starts the game, his socks are pulled up to his knees. Right. That's how he likes to wear them at the start. But at the end of the game, all his calves are out. Full calf muscle on show. Yeah, that's a telltale sign he's tired. You know who used to do that? Simicast. That was a Simicast special right there. It's now an Ekitike special, and that's when he brought Isak on. And Isak should have come on 5 minutes earlier, by the way, because he would have helped us, I'm telling you, because Ekitike was done. He was dead and buried out there. He could hardly move. But whilst he was out there, before he got tired, played really well. And I think you could see in the second half, his quality dropped off a little bit. And I think that's because he got tired. He kept giving the ball away. I think that's because he's tired. He's having to think about things more. His body's just not doing it naturally. He's having to put more effort in. You just lose quality when you're tired. You do. And I think that's what happened. But him and his little beautiful blonde curls scored again. He's got 3 goals already this season in the Premier League. I believe. I think it's 3. Yeah. And one in the Community Shield against Palace, of course. So you're buzzing, aren't you? You're absolutely buzzing with him. I'm giving him a 7. Great goal, but not loads else. And obviously only plays the hour. So I'm giving him a 7. But anybody who says something like... I guarantee they'll be talking about it in the studio after the game. I didn't watch because I came up here to do this. But I guarantee they were like, "Oh, what's he going to think when Isak plays?" Turn it off, guys. Get the remote, turn it off, throw it at the TV. You don't need it anymore. Okay? And then we'll talk about Cody Gakpo next. Throw him out the bloody window as well at the minute. Oh, flipping heck. Bad performance from Gakpo. He just struggled. He wasn't getting separation from his defender when he was trying to do the cut inside cross thing or cut inside shot. Everton were marking it really well. He got a lot of the ball. Nothing really good came of it when it was over his side. So he got brought off after 58 minutes or something like that. It should have been 5 minutes earlier as well. Yeah, just not very good. Disappointing performance from Gakpo, to be honest. I think he can be a bit like that sometimes. where he's red hot, he's banging goals in, like playing really, really well, competing. And he did compete today. I want to make that clear. All our players try really hard every game. There's never an issue with that, but that's a given. You're playing for Liverpool. You're supposed to try fucking hard. Not to go Roy Keane on you there, but you're supposed to try hard. You're supposed to run. You're supposed to tackle, and he does that, but not a lot else. And for me, that's a 5 for Gakpo today. He wasn't as bad as McAllister, but it's a 5. He just didn't do anything good, really. And that's the starting 11. So we'll go to the subs. And I think one sub in particular made a massive difference and was really, really good today when he came on, and that's Curtis Jones. He's had a little knock in midweek, comes on, and I think it's a pretty telltale sign of how we were playing when Arne Slot calls Curtis Jones back to the bench. Curtis Jones excels at a few things in football, right? He's a pretty much an all-round type of player, Jones. He's like okay at pretty much everything, and then he excels at a couple things. He never gives the ball away, ever, and he's always showing for the ball. The other two things he excels at, right? He did exactly that. And you know what else he did today? He tackled. And it was at a time we needed fucking tackles because, like I said, you had Leggins over there and his mate James Garner, who had cramp for about 25 minutes, knocking around in the middle, just dominating play. It's not good enough. Okay, Curtis Jones came on. He started smashing players. He smashed Grealish with his little chain on. It was really good. He was on the ball, passing, getting on the ball from the defender. It's not hard. Passes the ball to a fullback, makes a move again, gets on it again. This is what we needed, and it sounds simple, but it's hard when you're under pressure and you're getting pushed back in a game, and he did it, and he relieved some of that pressure. I thought he was really good. And maybe that's what it needed, because you look at the lineups of both teams today. It is quite sad, this, really. There's not a single Scouser started the game for either team, I believe. I'm trying to think of Everton's team. James Garner's not Scouse, I don't think. I think he's from Manchester. So yeah, there's not a single Scouser playing in the Merseyside Derby. It's not what you want to hear, really, is it? And then you bring Jones on, and I think he felt the occasion, obviously, and just think back to like when Fowler's playing, Carragher, Gerrard, like they just means a little bit more to them. And I think he showed that. So I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I thought he did his roll off the bench pretty much perfectly. So 8 for Jones. And then Wirtz came on. We put Wirtz out on the left wing. And I want to just say this as well before everyone's heads fall off about Wirtz being on the bench. Right. Obviously, it was a surprise. I didn't expect him to be on the bench. I predicted him to start. But I thought about it once I saw it. And it made me realise he started every single game so far, including the Community Shield. So he started, that'll be... what's that, 6 games in a row, something like that. Like, he's 22 years old. He's not going to play every game. This might be a shock to some of our fans, or not even our fans, but pundits, media, rival fans. Our players aren't going to play every game, right? He's going to be rested some games. And looked like this was one of those games. I think Slot played the opponent, picked him, picked who he picked because we were playing Everton. Wirtz goes on the bench. It's fine. It's not a problem. It doesn't mean he's bad. It doesn't mean anything big. It's just he's on the bench for this game. It's fine. But then when we brought him on, we put him on the left wing. He's not a left winger. He's not a left winger. He's going on that left wing, but he's playing very narrow. And this is a position that he sort of played at by Leverkusen, and it's not left wing. So anyone who says he played left wing at Leverkusen is wrong, right? They played a 3 at the back, and they played with 2 10s. It's similar to what Amorim plays at United, believe it or not. He's a left-sided number 10. He's not on the left wing. He's narrow, but he favours the left-hand side of the pitch, right? So that's what we're trying to, I think, replicate when we put him on that left wing, because we lost a bit of our width over on the left. And if you notice, once he came on, basically all of our attacks went down the right. We didn't have that many, but they did. And that's why. Look, he didn't really impact the game, did he? He got booked. That was about it. He didn't really have an impact. He had one moment where, I think, was it Salah played him in, and he does a nice fake shot, sits the defender down, but it was just a little bit heavy and allowed the challenger Tarkovsky to come in before he could get the shot away. So still waiting for it to catch on fire for him, really, in a Liverpool shirt, but it's just a 6. It's just a performance where he just came on and didn't do a whole lot, really. So 6 for Wirtz. And then Isak, like, I was begging for him to come on. I was begging for Wirtz and Jones to come on as well 5 minutes before we did. We brought him on at 2-1. he didn't really have much of an impact either, really, did he? It's crazy to see, like, Wirtz and Isak come off the bench for Liverpool. It's just wild. It really is. He played a lovely ball through to Salah when he was offside for that one. That was about the best impact he had on the game. He made actually a few tackles defensively that were good. You know, looks sharp, looks good, but didn't really have much to do in the way of actually any striker stuff. So it's a 6 for Isak as well. I think he'll start against Southampton, if I had to guess right now. I'm not seeing any presses or anything, so they're usually a bit of an indicator, but I reckon he starts against Southampton in the Cup and hopefully gets a goal and maybe can get his confidence, not his confidence, get off the mark for Liverpool, really, is what I should say. So, yes. That is everybody, I believe. I don't think we made any more subs. I thought we might bring Endo on. I was ready to give him a 10 just for coming onto the pitch. But I don't think we made any more subs, did we? So, yeah, that's it. That's the ratings, guys. Listen, today's not as, like, you know, maybe action-packed, maybe as in your face as some of the other ratings we've had, because we didn't score a last-minute winner. So everyone can shut up about that now, that we've won every game in the last minute. Is this sustainable? Can we win every game? No, we're not going to win every game in the Premier League. Spoiler alert, we're going to lose or draw at some point this season, but we haven't done it yet, and that is what matters. So, if you did watch this point, guys, thank you very, very much for doing so, and I hope you really did enjoy the match ratings. We've won the derby. Text any Evertonians that you know, give them a bit of stick. It's the best part of being a football fan. So, I hope that you all enjoyed the video. Just a reminder, please do like the video and comment away on the video. You know, share it with your friends, tell them to subscribe, send it to the Evertonians and tell them to watch. They played well. Well done, Everton, but you still lost. So, let's you know, do all that good stuff, and I'm very, very grateful for it. I'll be back at some point. I don't quite know when yet, because we do have Southampton. I need to factor all that in when I'm going to make the tactical video, but I will tactically look at this video as well and we'll do a little bit of analysis on it as well. So that's when I'll speak to you next. Until then, enjoy the football, enjoy Arsenal v City, enjoy United tonight. That's going to be a belter. And yes, hope you have a good weekend. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.